Good morning, friends. Now we are going to see the cloning strategy in recombinant DNA technology. That is, how the recombinant organisms are made. So here we will see some basic steps in creating recombinant organism. First, what is the basic requirement? For making the recombinant DNA organism. The basic requirements are: the first one is plasmid DNA, the second one is target DNA, that is your gene of your interest, the third one is restriction enzyme, and the fourth one is DNA ligase enzyme, and the fifth one is a suitable host. So these five things are basic requirement for making recombinant organism. Okay, say for example here we are just going to take E. coli. Some bacteria have some extracellular self-replicating double-stranded circular DNA. We call it as plasmid. So we need to isolate plasmid DNA by alkali lysis method. This isolated plasmid is going to act as a vector which carries your gene of your interest to the host cell. Okay, so some commercial vectors are also available for recombinant purpose. Okay, say for example PUB 18 or 19, PBR 322 vectors for bacterial cells. Okay, so the first step is we need to isolate plasmid DNA. Either you can directly isolate or you can just commercially get it from the market. The second one is you need to isolate the genomic DNA from the host. Okay, so from the host that contains your gene of interest, okay, you can isolate your genomic DNA by any one of the method: chemical method, enzymatic method, or mechanical method. Okay, so after isolation, what you have to do is you have to restrict both plasmid and genomic DNA with restriction endonucleases. Okay, so you have to choose in such a way that it should not, your restriction enzymes should not make a cleave within your target sequence. Okay, your restriction site should be flanked with your target gene of interest. Okay, so this restriction enzymes used for both the plasmid DNA as well as genomic DNA should be same, or it should be a compactable restriction enzyme. You have to prefer partial digestion for digesting your genomic DNA from the host cell. After digestion, what you have to do is you have to run an agarose-gel electrophoresis in order to separate an average size fragments of your genomic DNA and as well as the restricted plasmid DNA. So after agarose-gel electrophoresis, by using any one of the elution method, you can elute your desired DNA from the gel. Then the next step is ligation. You have to use DNA ligase enzyme. There are two types of DNA ligase commercially used: T4 DNA ligase and E. coli DNA ligase. Both differ by just energy sources. Okay, so say for example E. coli DNA ligase will utilize ATP as energy sources, whereas T4 DNA ligase utilize NADH as an energy source. With the help of any one of these ligase enzymes, you have to ligate your restricted plasmid DNA with the average size gene of your interest. Okay, now the recombinant DNA molecule is ready. So after this, what you have to do is you have to go for transformation. For that, you have to make the host cell to be competent. What are competent? What are competent cells? Competent cells are cells which have the ability to take up the foreign DNA. So by using calcium chloride method, okay, you can make the cells competent. By using 100 millimolar calcium chloride, if you just this 100 millimolar calcium chloride will destabilize the membrane. Now you have to add your foreign DNA, that is the recombinant DNA what we have made is, okay, in the previous step we have to add it to the competent cells. So the calcium in it will precipitate your recombinant DNA on the surface of your host cell. Now you have to just increase the temperature. You have to keep the solution at lower temperature. Now if you suddenly increase to 42 degrees Celsius for 30 seconds, what happen is a small pores will happen. Small pores will generate for a temporary period of time on the cell membrane of your host cell. So through these small holes, your plasmid DNA, that is your recombinant DNA, will get into the host cell. Now immediately you have to just keep the solutions at 4 degrees Celsius in order to close the gap, that is in order to close the pores formed during the heat shock method. So now your recombinant organism is ready. So you have to enrich it, because all the transformation tools, all the gene transfer methods are not 100% efficient. So in order to enhance the number of transformed cells, you have to just grow it. Okay, say for example, you have to just use a suitable media to grow your recombinant host. So after that, you have to just plate this recombinant cells, okay, to isolate the transformed cells from non-transformed cells. Say for example, if you are using PBR322 vector, you have to use a media with ampicillin and tetracycline. If you have inserted your gene of interest in ampicillin site, okay, ampicillin resistant site, then this recombinant microorganisms will grow in tetracycline media. It will not grow in ampicillin media, because ampicillin resistant gene is get disturbed because of insertion of your DNA. So another example is bug vector. Okay, the bug vector have ampicillin resistant gene as well as LAC-Z gene. So if LAC-Z genes have multiple cloning site, okay, which means it have multiple restriction site. So if you just insert your gene of interest in the LAC-Z gene, okay, what happen is, if you have to use a media with IPTG, XGAL and ampicillin. So competent cells will not grow in this ampicillin containing media, and non-transformed cells will not grow. So only the transformed cells will grow. So if the transformed cells have only plasmid without your gene of interest, so then this LAC-Z gene, okay, will able to produce alpha subunit of your galactosidase enzymes. So the host already have other subunits, so it will form an active beta galactosidase enzymes which can able to degrade XGAL. XGAL is an allolactose. It is a chromogenic allolactose. So this XGAL, if it get degrade, it produce color. XGAL produce blue color. So the blue colored cells, the blue colored colonies are transformed cells, but it do not have your gene of interest. What happen if it have a gene of interest? So if a cells have the gene of interest, that cannot able to produce the active beta galactosidase enzymes, so it will appear as white color colonies. Because of insertional inactivation, it will be appeared as white color cells. So these white color cells are also transformed cells which have your gene of interest. So what you have to do is, you have to just select this white color colony, and you have to just further you can just confirm with any PCR technique. Okay, then you can just use it for other purposes. Okay, so this is the basic cloning strategies, okay, in case of bacterial cells. Thank you.